Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. Welcome to Speed Gaming's presentation of the playoffs. We have SM Rando League playoffs. This is the first game, I believe. Oh no, I take that back.
This is game 2.
This is game 2 of Tenacious 3 and Southern Route. I am Leno. Joined today on with comms is Tracy and our tracker Paragon. Say hello.
Hello.
And we should have a very exciting race today. I believe Southern Route won game 1. Not confirmed on that, but I'm
Yes, Southern Route Kip won game 1. Versus I should know this. We do have we don't have the things on. We'll have to get the layout fixed for the next race where we have the actual helmets.
Yep.
Always forget to do that. But yeah, Southern Route won game 2-0. This is Dash for game 2. Why don't you tell us about Dash, Leno?
Dash is actually something I'm not too experienced with, but Dash Recall, I just made the meme of it. Dash is named that way because it wants you to go fast. But honestly, we actually have a bunch of new items in the pool. As Tracy just alluded to, the tracker doesn't reflect those properly, I think, question mark?
No, we see them. We see them. They're there. That is the Dash tracker.
No, okay, yep, you're right. I'm off to a great start. But we have several new items in the pool. Space Jump has a precursor item. I guess you can call them progressive, but they're not actually progressive. We have a double jump. The Varia suit has a precursor item called the Heat Shield, and then the Gravity suit has the Pressure Valve, I believe it's called.
That is correct.
And they're sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And they are, quote unquote, like baby versions of the previous items. So Heat Shield has basic heat protection. In Upper Norfair, has nothing for Lower Norfair, offers no damage reduction. Pressure Valve has some basic water movement ability in Western Norfair, but
Western Meridia.
Western Meridia, sorry. And then double jump, exactly as its name indicates. You get 2 jumps with it.
Yeah, and I'll correct you. The Heat Shield does offer heat protection in Lower Norfair, just not as much. I believe it halves it. Gravity suit will quarter it We'll get only a quarter of the heat protection with Gravity suit. There's high jump boots in the ceiling. That's a nice item to get right away.
And I am going to do one thing real quick. And that should be good now. And we should now see Zos timer on screen.
Hey, look at that. And we're even mostly synced, so.
Yep.
Nice job, Leno.
Thank you.
This is a play from Fester. Unless these are the only supers available, though, this is not really going to pay off. We see supers right here. Billy Mays just not in a non-full mode. This is usually not a useful check. So
the second Powerbomb pack is interesting, but I really have a hard time believing that's going to be worth it.
I just don't see it. Hasn't even checked the alpha missiles. And you're checking Billy Mays. I don't like it, especially against you can't be giving minutes away like this against a runner like Zost. You just can't.
And I'm bumping up Fester's audio just a little bit. Chat, let us know how the balance is on that. I'll adjust it further if need be. And also D-Web in chat pointing out that we have 4 charge beam items. This is correct.
That is correct.
You can see in the top right corner of the screen next to the map, there's a number there, 20. You actually start with a charge beam, but there are charge upgrades that apply more damage per upgrade. It caps out pretty easy if you have plasma. So plasma is actually pretty well nerfed in Dash Recall. But yeah, you actually want to go out of your way for charge beam upgrades so you can just do more beam damage.
All right. Well, hopefully Fester does get the supers that are here, or at least with all these power bombs, we'll be able to check both this and the old Mother Brain location. And we get Spring Ball. Yay!
Spring Ball good. Spring Ball good.
I mean, it's early enough that it could still have plenty of uses. So, it's definitely Spring Ball is at its worst when it's out of the way and hard required.
Yes.
This is definitely not out of the way. And we're going to do Alcatraz with high jump boots, which really isn't that difficult. It's just that most people aren't used to it. And with only 5 power bombs, Zos is not going to do Gauntlet. Fester might. Like, that would be the one thing those power bombs could do for him, is get him a nice item at Gauntlet. Unfortunately, that would also slow him down, too, so that's a tough call.
Yeah, he'll just kind of give up more time to his opponent.
I've heard some people say that they think the Gauntlet item is really important in this, but I also find that it still can't be a suit, and some of the items in normal settings that are really useful there, like Charge Beam or Speed Booster or Ice Beam, just aren't as powerful in this mode because of the way the map has changed, where we don't need Speed or Ice to get through to Dragon, for instance.
And then I guess one more thing that we can mention with Dash Recall, with the addition of the new items, since this is a major minor mode, we have new major locations added to the pool.
Right.
You want to touch on those?
And one taken out. So we take out the Crate Closet as a major item, and we add in the Mouse Missiles down in Lower Norfair. We add in the Sky Missiles in the Wreck Ship, and we add the Watering Hole in Meridia as major locations. Yeah, I mean, Fester checking all these minor locations, just I just don't see how this is gonna help out. You're not gonna spike a good major item. We've got all the minors now. There was nothing at 230 missiles that was gonna be super useful.
And Zoe's finding 2 extra power bomb packs at the Brinstar Reserve area, so he's basically set with power bombs for the rest of the game now, regardless of what happens.
And with some of the heat reduction you get from the heat shield or the gravity suit that you don't get in a normal randomizer, for a runner of Zo's caliber, 15 power bombs might be enough with a decent amount of supers and missiles to get through LN without the actual Varia suit. So we'll see if Fester chooses to go to Gauntlet.
I kind of think he will, but given the lack of energy, maybe not.
Yeah, Gauntlet is rough with no tanks. It's not so bad with 10 power bombs. Okay, it isn't good. I mean, it's a shame because it's like the one thing that those power bombs get him is the Gauntlet check. And Zos just can't do that check, or couldn't do that check when he was there. He'd turn around with this E-Tank, but he's so far behind, and he's got to know he's far behind because he can't be thinking that Zos is doing things like Billy Mays.
Like I don't want to like call the race like that, but Fester in the race room before the race even started is like, I know what I'm up against, and
I think there's a certain amount of like Fester's done well in the regular season, and upsets can happen. I mean, there's no question who's favored here. Like it's like there's only a couple of players that I would even put even with Zost in terms of randomizer. And those names are like Kip or Azure or Aussie. Anyone else is going to be almost anyone else is going to be disadvantaged against Zost. But if you come in with the attitude of I'm just going to lose, it's not really a game plan.
Exactly.
Like we saw Gwen versus Kip on Monday in game 1, and Gwen came in with what I thought was a really good game plan. Did some out of the way checks that if Kip skipped them and they paid out for her, would have really put her in a good position. None of those paid out, but it was a game plan that I thought was really good. We got Speed Booster.
Yep, and I absolutely loved her approach that she took in game 1. It just didn't work out, unfortunately, the way that she would have wanted.
Right. But she put herself in a position where if things had worked out, she would have had a shot in that race.
Yep. And Zos, not having Spazer, gets a charge upgrade. French vanilla charge.
We get to do, the actual strats for this room.
And since I mentioned it, Spazer actually does kind of change routing and change your game plan for Dash Recall a little bit. Most of your speed blocks have been replaced, well, not replaced, but affected by Spazer, so you can shoot them out with Spazer specifically. Actually gives Spazer a little bit more use.
Yeah, it's mostly the waterway location that's useful because the blocks on the way to bot wound are destroyable by Spazer, but you can just not go that way at all with some of the with the map changes. It's most useful, I would say, if you're doing a suitless Meridia without Ice Beam. You can shoot those Spazer blocks out because nobody is going Cack Alley without a suit. That's just an insane route and barely doable.
It's possible, but you got to be a crazy person to do that.
Yeah. And here we see Fester again going for some minor items. Like, this is a really, really slow minor item.
Kind of taking a lot of extra damage on the spike wall, too.
Yeah, not ideal. And so it's just going to head down. You've got high jump. There's any number of things that would let him just do LN right away. Going to get an X-ray check because we have a grapple beam.
I think even if he didn't have grapple, he might have done this anyway.
Maybe. I mean, he's certainly capable of doing it, but early X-ray is still a dangerous play. And one of the ways a player like Zost could lose is you make the dangerous play and you fail it.
Yep. And he obviously hasn't taken a safety save. That would have put him all the way back to start.
Yep. E-Tank's not a bad outcome here, honestly. You get your health back to get back. Because it's not free, even with the grapple beam. Those waivers will try and knock you off. You get a nice refill for the Norfair Hell runs that are coming, so...
Yeah, those waivers like to be good sniper spots during that trip to and from the X-ray, but Zost gets through, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And 25 power bombs for Zost, and I feel like Fester is going to get that 25 number as well.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, Zost I think he's picking up those power bombs in anticipation of skipping a various suit if the opportunity presents itself. One of the strategies I've heard for Dash is go down and no matter what, find a way to do lower Norfair.
Yep.
Which is not trivial, I mean, obviously, I don't think you do it if you don't find any kind of suit upgrade, but with the changes in heat protection that you can get from either a gravity suit or a heat shield, I think Zost would just do LN with one of those items. And of course, if you find various suit, all the better.
Now, I forget, is Boss Shuffle on for this particular mode?
No, okay. Nope. Of the main modes for playoffs, this is the only mode that doesn't have Boss Shuffle for this season.
So we have no surprise bosses. We're not going to see...
Dragon will be a Dragon. This is going to be Kraid.
Ooh, Zost skipping a missile. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a missile. I think at this point you pick up... you want a few more missiles maybe for the potential Crystal Flash, but there's going to be other missiles along the way. So that one's maybe he's decided that one's a little bit too slow for his liking.
Maybe. This is also a point that you touched on during week 6 when Dash was going on. You want that magical 30 number to guarantee no soft lock potential against Mother Brain Phase 1.
All right, and Fester continues to full clear. I mean, I feel like he's playing this like it's full, which is not something you can do against arguably the top player. Oh, double jump. We get to see one of our new items. Yay! There's that speed booster.
Yep, there's no new spin animation for double jump. It's just a basic jump.
Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool with just the basic jump like that. And it kind of reminds me of the spin boost that Dread has, honestly.
Yep.
Which maybe it's, I don't know, that might be what it was based off of. Zost remembering that this is no longer a major and chooses not to pick it up.
Knowing his luck, he probably would have found another power bomb anyway, which he does not need any more of.
No, 25 power bombs is pretty good. So yeah, I imagine do the ice. I like the choice of going to ice beam first here with this kind of health. It allows you to get a refill if the high jump item is a E-tank. Speaking of E-tanks, we should also mention that to make room for the extra major items, we have removed 2 regular E-tanks and 2 of the reserve tanks. So our maximum E-tanks would be 12 and just 2 reserves.
Guess you're getting that waterway charge upgrade. A little low on health, but he should be okay.
Yeah, everything's dead, so he's gonna have trouble getting out of here. Just he's gonna have to watch a little bit going through Green Hills, but Green Hills is not meant to kill you this early in the game, so it should be fine.
Those sign hoppers do 20 damage, but yeah, as long as he's aware of his surroundings, he should be fine.
Okay, let's see what we get at high jump. Looks like it was just an E-tank at ice beam. The missile getting in the way of the shot. I love it. X-ray scope, which is I mean, if we get plasma, we can still microwave, but our microwave isn't nearly as powerful because the strongest beam we can get is 500. That was the one criticism I gave Kip about his this mode is if I get all 4 charge upgrades, I want full power plasma.
Right.
I think he was balanced everything else pretty well. But I want the opportunity to still have full beam combo, and you know it's hard. Like there's 4 charge upgrades. It's not like it's not like it's free to get all the charge upgrades. It's very much not.
And some of the runners might just opt to not make that one gross check to get the a specific charge upgrade.
Right.
Is that something you would really want to go out of your way for?
Yeah, exactly. And I believe other people have told Kip the same things. We'll see if the next version changes any of that. So Zos can do a little bit of farming here before heading up to do the Bubble Mountain checks. And then he'll have a decision to make whether to maybe bet on Croc or to go down to Lower Norfair. I don't know that he goes to Lower Norfair without at least a suit or pseudo suit of some sort.
Yeah, he's only got 2 crystal flashes exactly with his ammo. I'd be hard pressed to say he's going to dip Lower Norfair with what he's got right now.
Yeah, but he's got 3 chances up in Bubble Mountain to get something useful, and also has 2 chances at Croc. It'd be crazy if nothing showed up here. We'd have the very real possibility of being forced up to wreck ship, which I know would not be ideal for him. Fester went up to wreck ship right now, and all the things were there. That could end up being a real good play for him, but I don't imagine. Yeah, I don't imagine he's going to do that. Or we could just find Gravity Suit. Okay. This could that is something that Zos, if you want, you'll see right now. You can see the energy is already slowed down because it's it takes off a quarter of the damage.
And 25% damage reduction doesn't seem like it's much, but it definitely helps.
I mean, for the top players, it's enough to change routing. Zos could take that Gravity Suit into Meridia as well. Like he's got options. Of note, if the heat shield does show up, the heat shield, heat protection, and the Gravity Suit heat protection do not stack. So it'd still just be the 50% that the heat shield offers. Interesting that Zos picked up that power bomb pack.
Maybe he's. This tells me he might be thinking about Lower Norfair actually.
Well, he's definitely thinking about it. The reserve tank is a good safety for your Ridley fight because if you kill Ridley before your reserves kick in, you should survive. I would disagree though on the statement of plenty of CF ammo because right now he doesn't have a good way of killing Ridley.
Yeah.
With only 20 supers and a charge beam that does 40 damage.
Yeah, he's
That
got
sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah, 2 crystal flashes with no Ridley ammo. That does not sound ideal.
No. And interesting, Fester did go up. Is checking these minor items. I think that's a good spot to check minors. You get 2 of them. Now let's see if he continues up. Oh, this is gotta be a little careful here. Okay. Oh. Wow, goes out of the way to pick up to skip that missile too. Okay, we just get an E-tank.
Oh, Fester's gonna take the safety save here. This is interesting safety save spot here.
Yeah, I like this save spot for when it's boss shuffle. Because the save spot that opens up in boss shuffle and wreck ship, this one, it just takes you back to an area that's more useful. But I think in this scenario, I don't see the need for it unless you're not confident in your Phantoon fight.
Right.
I think Zos is just leaving. Which I think, yeah, with the gravity suit, doing Meridia makes a lot of sense. I think if he had a few more supers, I think he does lower Norfair. Or if he had a better beam. But
yeah,
there's no way you're surviving a Ridley fight with this ammo count and this beam situation, and he knows it. And doesn't want to do Croc, so he's going to instead probably do Meridia.
And I think dipping lower Norfair for Mickey Mouse and Screw Attack would be kind of a hard ask because you still have to get out. I could totally see just not doing that right now.
Well, and they can't be various. They could be the heat shield. They could give you, a better beam, but that's not going to get you where you want to be for the Ridley fight. So I imagine Zos is going to clear Meridia, and then if the suit doesn't show up here, just wants to make sure that he has Ridley ammo on the super count, because if you know what you're doing with Ridley and supers, you can have a very quick fight.
Question in chat: they are additional items, not replacements. As noted there with the space jump, add Mama Turtle for Zost.
Yeah, that's a nice item. That's a really nice movement item for Ellen. Also, noting that we don't have a screw attack for Ellen, which isn't a big deal, especially for a player like Zos, but Screw Attack just makes things really free. In terms of movement down there.
Now, Fester took the ship refill and save. That was clearly for health, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That actually makes the Red Tower save a little bit more curious.
Yeah, if you're gonna take the save of the ship anyway, there's really no reason to take the Red Tower's save.
Question in chat. Yep, 2 energy tanks, 2 reserve tanks have been removed. Did Fester just skip that super pack?
Yeah, I don't understand. If you're looking for, what else are you looking for there? Literally, what else are you looking for there other than a super?
With your beam damage where it is, I probably would have taken the super.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're not going to take the super, you shouldn't be checking it in the first place, because at 25 power bombs, you're pretty well off. Okay, this is plasma beam. Let's see what the damage is now. 200. So that's still a lot of shots. It's still what? 100 shots?
18,000 health.
90 shots. That's 90 shots.
Yeah, 90 shots. Yep. That's a hard ask for 70 tanks,
no,
one reserve.
That's not going to work. I mean, it does. I think it would allow him to go in with 25 supers though.
Yeah.
But not with 20. Okay, there's your 25th super. But you're already this deep, it wouldn't surprise me if he just continues along the Meridia path. Go kill Dragon, check the sand pit on your way out, go to Lower Norfair regardless of what you find.
Then just do Meridia, or not Meridia, but wreck ship on your way out.
Fester, in the meantime, needs to find a Various suit up here in wreck ship for him to have a chance.
Yep.
And even that, it might not be enough, considering Zos is quickly getting himself in a position where he's just not going to need that Various suit. He'd ideally like to have at least one more super missile. Maybe a couple extra charge upgrades or whatever. Heat shield showing up would be really nice.
Yeah, I think if Zost finds a heat shield here in Meridia, he probably stops making checks entirely and just goes.
Well, most of the checks he's gonna check this one. It's on path.
Mm-hmm.
Grabs the E-tank. The sand pit is on path. The only thing out of the way that he might check would be the shack tool check, but that's been changed as well. We don't actually have to wait for shack tool to dig everything out.
And I believe we also don't even need grapple beam to even get to shack tool's area anymore. So
Nope,
it's just
we don't.
very fast.
Oh, we have grapple beam anyway, but yeah, the grapple block. It's just the blocks are all taken out in that first room.
Mm-hmm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Cack Alley? Oh wait,
Available? It was available.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious as Zost took this route. No, maybe he forgot that Cack Alley was an option, but then he would have gotten plasma.
We've seen people forget that Cack Alley is an option.
Yeah,
that's not unusual. Also, you know, it's because you're checking the watering hole, because you have speed booster, because you have a plasma beam. Your other route would be, it would allow you to hit sand pit into taking the tube up to go through Cack Alley, which isn't as much of a time save as just walking to the right as soon as you enter Meridia. And then it makes the Batuan item a little less on path. So I think, it's kind of it might still have been a little faster to do it that way, but I don't think it's super significant since you're doing those other checks.
Mm-hmm.
And he can still he'll still probably hit the at least the sandpit item. He could also check plasma. That's also available before killing Dragon. He can hit plasma. He can hit shack tool. But he might just one more super would be ideal, but he could just hit that on the path, and he could still hit Varia on the path. Wave beam is nice. See what that does to our damage.
Is it actually going to add anything? No,
it doesn't. Yeah, wave beam typically doesn't add any damage if you already have plasma. Which
well, he's only found the one charge upgrade, so he's pretty much capped out for now. Definitely helps with baby skip implications. Which
all right, so Fester gets through the Phantoon fight, no problem. We'll see where Zost chooses to go next. Yeah, I think this is just going to be Sandpit and go. Meanwhile, we get to see our first checks at the wreck ship. I think we're gonna see these aqueduct items because Zost would really like another super pack.
Mm-hmm.
Even a missile pack's not bad. There's a charge upgrade for Fester.
Definitely gives more leeway for another crystal flash. Charge upgrade, probably not what we wanted to see. Oh, there's that super pack.
Okay, so now we have at 30 supers. I mean, granted, you still have to take into account crystal flash before, crystal flash after.
Mm-hmm.
But that still puts you in a pretty good position for the Ridley fight. I mean, it's more supers that you'd have in a typical RBO run. So, in RBO runs, you're not having any suits with any kind of heat protection. So, I do believe this. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
Or a very suit could just be right here on path, and we don't even have to think about it.
that is actually the worst possible outcome for Fester as well.
Yeah, Fester. I mean, weird things would have to happen, and I won't speculate on what weird things would have to happen. Like Zost is just he routed this really, really well, and Fester. I like the decision to try a wreck ship instead of going down a lot. That was the one decision I like. The question I have for him is why were we checking all the minor locations?
Right. It's possible he forgot. It's possible there's race nerves involved. It's really hard to say until we get to the interview. The best he can hope up for now is the heat shield and the pressure valve, but that's yeah.
Yeah, it's not ideal, and the pressure valve doesn't help you get the Vari-suit there, because that's one of the spots that the pressure valve doesn't change the water. It's still gettable. You can do a spring ball jump, or do a surface space jump. Actually, you can even do it without those items, but it's much more difficult. But very annoying. And there's just a reserve tank, not ideal. And we see the reset for it.
Question in chat: is non-charge beam damage change with dash? Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure on that one.
Well, it's the damage is what you see up in the corner. Period.
Okay.
With or without the charge upgrades.
Oh, okay. Oh, Zos tried to do a chronic boost. Didn't quite pull that one off, but we got backup strats available.
I mean, you've got space jump.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, he has choices. Yes. I don't imagine. I mean, Ice Beam would be nice for Turian. That's about it as far. I mean, Screw Attack, if you found it, would help with the lower Norfair escape. You've got Plasma Beams, and you can damage the pirates, or sorry, the Key Hunters on the way out. Like, you're obviously skipping GT.
Yep.
I think maybe you check the Ridley item. I don't think I definitely wouldn't check the mouse missiles or the fire fleas.
Yeah,
fire
fleas. You can make an argument for. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can make an argument for fire fleas. I don't think I would check it, but you definitely make an argument for it.
Yeah. And like you said, Mickey Mouse too far away at this point.
Definitely. Plus, we don't have a great item to not fall through the floor. No Screw Attack, no bombs means you have to worry about, you have to be very careful not to fall through the board. I mean, we got Spring Ball to bounce out, or Space Jump just to avoid it, but we can't, the blocks will be gone.
And there's another charge upgrade at Wreck Ship Reserve. That's two of them in the ship.
Two of them in Wreck Ship, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how Zos decides to take the Ridley fight, whether he'll farm up a little bit to have more supers, or whether he'll go for the beam combination he has. I mean, it's still
there's the pressure valve up there in Sky.
Unfortunately, that's not going to get Fester his various suit.
Yeah. Wreck Ship is actually showing a lot of value today. It's just not the value that is. Unfortunately, it's just not going to matter.
Yeah. And that item is not free to get. With this, I mean, you can, it's a little hard to shoot out the block, fall in and fall into it, and as you can see, and Fester is going to have to. I think he's got maybe 2 more shots at getting this before he has to do something to refill.
Yep.
Yeah, that power bomb's not going to help. The block's going to be back before he gets back up there.
Yep.
As Zos says, I don't need to farm. I'm used to this fight with much worse equipment because he runs low % ice, and that'd be a 200 shot fight, and you wouldn't have all the supers. Probably just going to take Ridley down to half, or yeah, I like the use of missiles on the Pogo a lot because you can get a lot of damage in very quickly, even with just missiles there. And it's just taking Ridley down to 14. It's going to probably continue to use charge shots at this point until we see Ridley red. And then 14 supers might not quite finish him off, but it'll be close enough that at worst we do a couple 3 charge shots after that.
Yep.
Because Ridley will turn red at 50, just past 50, just past 75%. No, it is 50, sorry. We'll turn red just past 50% damage. And very, very nice Ridley fight from Zos.
And he's not jumping up, so that tells me he is going to check it. Okay.
Yeah, I think this check is fine. I mean, there are enough things that are. He shielded at Ridley. Not useful at all. Oh, gosh.
And Fester having to use a Crystal Flash.
Yeah, still having trouble getting that item. It's going to choose to ride the trippers instead. Which is a really slow way to do this.
But, you know, when push comes to shove, you got to do what you got to do. And
Yep.
Oh, that...
Yeah, so I said you don't check fire fleas, but, you know, at 123, an E-tank there wouldn't be a terrible thing for Zost. I mean, I know he's gotten out in worse situations. Has that reserve tank, has the wave plasma, he can just shoot the key hunters from below if need be. Also, definitely knows what he's doing to get around them. Those I find I know not everybody agrees with me, but I find those key hunters on the key stairs are a little bit easier than the Three Musketeers on the way out. But
there is a way to manipulate them, but it's not readily apparent if you're not used to it.
We'll see if he goes for trying to dodge them. He can take 2 hits plus whatever the reserve gives him, or he can just fire some plasma shots until they're dead. Like, there's choices here.
And there's the pressure valve now for Fester.
Okay, and Zost gets through with just one hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this health might be low enough that Zost maybe takes a refill at the ship. Also, like, you know, with the beam combination not being super strong, having a little extra ammo. Or he just farm up here a little bit.
I might take the refill in his case, just for the super missiles, because that way you're just going to get more DPS.
I'm definitely thinking, I mean, yeah, for this health, I don't think... You have enough power bombs, because you're not going to get ice beam. Mm-hmm. Having more supers though for the Mother Brain fight will speed you up a little bit. So I mean, I don't know that I might have skipped the refill and just gone for the ship refill.
Right. Oh, Fester wants to get that charge upgrade.
Oh yeah, you pick up charge upgrades that you know of in this. Oh right, and Zost chat reminding me that Zost still has Fantoon.
Yep.
Hopefully he remembers he still has Fantoon to kill. It's kind of important. I mean, you're not going to refill the ship before Fantoon, so I think that was more of a let's get a little bit more energy before Fantoon, a little bit more missiles.
That might have actually just been a super farm then, because he's going to use, 2-3 supers before the fight. Yeah. And I have to admit, if we saw a G3 scenario...
Please no.
Once was enough this season. We don't need another one.
Well, we've had more than one this season. It's just only one of them actually resulted in weirdness, because we did have a race that had to be replayed because someone skipped Dragon. There was a bug that didn't notice that was actually didn't let the player still get into terrain at the end.
There was another G3 scenario that wasn't that?
Yeah. I know of at least one person that G3. Now, they didn't get into Turian.
Oh, okay.
So I know the devs of Dash have fixed the problem with Dragon, and it is only Dragon that was an issue.
Question in chat. Unfortunately, no, this was not a death by Fester. Fester... Not entirely sure why, but decided to check all kinds of miners for items. And then made the tactical decision to check wreck ship ahead of Upper Norfair. And had a little bit of trouble trying to get the sky missile, so that was I think a 4 or 5
pressure
minute,
valve, yeah.
Yep. That was like a 4 or 5 minute time sink right there. And then of course Zost just has super clean movement, so it's been a little one-sided.
Yep. We get to microwave Fantoon, which is not as free as the other microwave bosses because we do have to get Fantoon to open the eye. So you have to start by firing at least one missile. Yeah, to answer chat, I mean, I don't know if Fester's checked every single miner, but he's checked most of them.
Yeah.
Definitely some that are way out of the way, like Edakun's power bombs is really far out of the way.
Yep.
Went to Spore Spawn missiles, Spore Spawn supers, that's really far out of the way.
I think he did 230 as well at the beginning.
Yeah, he did 230. Yeah, and Billy Mays, like, yeah, Billy Mays. At least, you know, there's the off chance that Billy Mays could be your only supers, but that's really rare, especially in a dash seed, because dash places its ammo differently than most Varia modes. I say most Varia modes because the progression speed that you see in Varia will change how it places items. But most Varia modes are going to place a super missile and a power bomb as your logical first super missile and your logical first power bomb, and you won't be able to get any other supers or power bombs before that particular one. Whereas Dash works off of Total's old randomizer, which just says, okay, we're going to guarantee you that there is at least one power bomb available before you hard require it, and you're gonna need get at least one super missile before you hard require it. So the odds of the only supers available being at Billy Mays just went from really low as what they would be in Varia to almost non-existent in Dash Randomizer. And I've never seen it in a Total / Dash seed. I've only seen that happen in Varia.
And we do have Zos audio up. He actually took the save at the ship. I'm a little surprised by that. I get the refill, but I'm surprised about the save.
Well, I mean, if you're Zost, how do you lose? You lose because you screw up somewhere without a save. That's how you lose.
Yep.
He's routed this really cleanly, so he has no reason to believe he's behind. So he can afford the extra few seconds to take the save there.
There's the double jump now for Fester.
Yeah, and shoutouts to Papa Schmo for doing the artwork on the new items. I think you did a very nice job on those. And we don't have Ice Beam, so we're going to power bomb these Metroids. No worries about getting power bomb drops because we have 35, which of course means we're going to get some power bomb drops, right?
Yep.
That's how that works, isn't it?
That's exactly how that works. I say at least 2 power bomb drops with Metroids.
Yeah, I don't think he quite grouped them the way he wanted to because he ended up using 5 in that first room. There is one of the strats that lures the Metroids to you does call for a 4th power bomb usage, but typically doesn't need 5 of them.
Chat, I love you. Never change. I don't think we actually got a single power bomb drop from those Metroids.
I think I didn't see any, but his numbers indicate that he might have gotten 1 in room 2.
Yeah.
Because he used 5 in room 1, and then he was going into room 3 with 28. So
Right.
and he would have had to use 3 in room 2. So.
Oh, right. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe he did get 1 then.
This has all the items you would want for Baby Skip. Going for the new Stachio Skip.
That looked really clean. Yep.
Okay, we're good.
Nicely done, Zost.
It looked a little close at the end for the grab through the door. But other than that, it was really good.
And of course, the risk if you happen to get grabbed by the baby during the door transition, unless you wanted to finish like that, you run very, very slowly.
So yeah, Fester is now going into Meridia with that pressure valve, which is, I think, a decent play. Unfortunately, means not going to get the gravity suit for a while. Gravity suit was at Reserve, at Norfair Reserve, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, Norfair Reserve. It was somewhere up there, but I think you're right. I think it's the Reserve. Let's see what he does with this space jump, though. He's about to get a Mama Turtle.
Looks like he's going to check these miners first. And to answer chat, no, you don't soft lock yourself if the baby catches you through the door. You slow lock. Basically, what happens is you'll get what we call baby speed, which means your horizontal movement will be equivalent to what you would have if the baby were still on you. I guess the game thinks that the baby's just permanently attached. It's very easy to fix, though. All you got to do is you take a save, reset, and just go reset to that save, and you're fine. So it's a bit of a time loss, but not a game breaker.
Yep. And if for some reason you choose not to save and reset, you're just stuck with that speed for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, you can finish the game that way, and players have done it. So
there are definitely hijinks, and I feel like one of my teammates would do that if the situation arose.
Yeah, I know exactly which teammate you mean. Meantime. We have a 90-shot Mother Brain fight, and Zealous leaving 14 missiles in reserve or 14 supers in reserve. We'll probably break those out when ketchup comes.
Well, given his charge damage, I don't think he even does stand up here. No, probably not now. He just got ketchup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think stand-up's worth it with this damage output.
Yeah, with this damage, I don't think so.
Especially whatever time you gain, you're gonna lose. Assuming he has enough in the reserve tank to get him above 70 tanks again. Whatever time you gain from doing stand-up, you're gonna lose by having to menu and manually up those reserves to fill up.
That's 120 damage.
Yeah, This is the thing that Kip learned when he raced this in week 6. Pressure valve doesn't give you any damage reduction, so you're taking full damage from all these enemies in Meridia, and your health can go down very, very fast. It's a very, very dangerous area, and you need to be very aware.
Yeah, battle crabs do 120 power suit damage. I think the Skullteros do 80 power suit damage.
Yeah, I want to say 80, and these guys do like 60 or 80. These menus, yep. and the ouches,
that's 100.
are very big. It's just they're listed as both menus and menus. To answer chat, that and it's one of those things. It's like Sova Nova. Meantime, we're just waiting out the cutscene for Zost.
That was a nice CWJ frame there by Fester. It was irrelevant with the space jump, but that was a nice CWJ frame there.
Yeah, Fester down to 37. Yep, and there it is.
Ouch.
Yep. Those crabs will get you.
I mean, it seemed like the outcome was going to be this way anyway. But everyone, give a round of applause for Fester, who absolutely did the best he could with what he had. Like, everyone, just give some shout-outs to Fester, if you could.
Yeah, it looks like he's all the way back to the wreck ship. That's rough.
Oh, so he lost the pressure valve then.
Yeah.
And the double jump. Ooh.
Yep. There's a nice behemoth spark from Zost.
Really clean parlor. Really clean.
And Zost is going to come upon the ship and finish with an official race time of 49:48, and then Fester forfeits shortly after.
Yep, seeing that Zost did finish.
Yeah, I mean, Fester knows he's way behind. GG's to both our runners.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if we can get either one of them in here for an interview.
We do have Fester joining us. GG's rough opponent, rough race.
You get to adjust a bit, but it was a great opportunity to play against such an amazing player. Really happy. But yeah, very humbling. GG.
Oh, and there's Zost. I was just asking if he was joining for the interview, and there he is. GG, Zost.
GG, thank you. What's up?
All right, so I'm gonna start with you, Zost. First of all, nice run. But before that various suit showed up in Sandpit, you were heading to Lower Norfolk anyway, I assume, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was. I didn't. I don't know. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that or go back up and just do Fantune and go back. I mean, the smart thing may have been just to go back to Fantune and then go down, even if I didn't collect everything.
Yeah.
But nobody ever accused me of being smart, so.
I mean, you were in a situation where you're down in Upper Norfair, and you get a gravity suit, which is pretty good for heat protection. And we're sitting there going, well, he's got all the things except for the Ridley kill is just going to be horrible. Because I think your beam was like at 40 damage or something really low like that. And not enough supers to just do the Ridley kill. So I think it was really smart of you to leave at that point. Yeah. And not go down to LN. But then it was like, well, if you could get to 30 supers and you got that plasma beam, which made your beam a little bit better, but still not great. Kind of felt like that was the play you were going to make. But yeah, you're right. It's a tough one because again, you're not, it's still kind of a better loadout than say RBO, but it's definitely not going to be free.
Yeah, well, like it's contextual when I say that too. Like, I mean. If it was like I really don't mean any offense, but if it was like maybe it was the finals, I would be a lot more aggressive with stuff like how runs. But I'm just there's no reason for me to play too aggressively, really. I mean, really in general, I think, but that's why I'm like. I mean, I obviously had plenty to go down and do Lower Norfair, but it's still to me, like, I don't really want to do that if I don't, if I don't have to.
Fair enough. So, okay, so you get the various suit.
Kill the run accidentally. I mean,
yeah, yep.
Is it worth it? I mean, question mark. I don't know.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, because you get the, if the various suit doesn't show up there, you have the Shack tool, you have you have Shack tool, you have plasma, you can get the item from the back in wreck ship in this mode, and it's just there's still a lot of places where that various suit could be, and. It has to be in the back of your mind that if your opponent goes to wreck ship first and finds Varia, that could be really bad for you. So.
Yeah, I mean that could happen if like they god routed wreck ship and got Varia really early, and then it just like really worked out for them. Then yeah, I mean that's another consideration as far as playing too conservatively. So like that was also going through my mind as well. Like I don't want to play too conservatively where like I can lose like that. So that was I mean. All that was going through my head after I killed Dragon, and there was Barry wasn't there. But yeah, after going down to Sandpit, I was pretty much committed to going to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I mean the Barry just makes it out easy, right?
Yeah. Oh, when I saw Barry, I was like, well, that's kind of disappointing for everybody, but I'm sorry about that.
Faster. Go ahead, Allow.
I was just gonna say the way you ended up routing this Zos worked out extremely well. You made all the right decisions at the right times, and they all just came up aces for you. It worked out really well for you.
Yeah, and that's just luck. I mean, that's just unfortunate for Fester because, I mean, what can you do? You know, like I just got lucky because I thought about going to wreck ship. I told Fester in the chat I thought about going up to wreck ship myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly even sure why I decided not to, but
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like going up and then down. I think part of it was just, I don't know, high jump's annoying to go to wreck ship first with.
Mm.
Obviously, you can turn it off. It's not that big of a deal. You can turn it off,
Mhm.
so like it's not a problem to do it. I don't know.
All right, now Fester, you were full clearing a lot of things. And that just put you behind really early. It started with Billy Mays, and then just 230 missiles, and then just checked a lot of extra locations. What was the thought process there?
That's just inexperience on my part. To be fair, I was
Okay.
just hoping for good items early,
Mhm.
so I could sort of speed on through, but it wasn't the case.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just playing against those. So I was just like, well, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm gonna lose. So I was just like, let's just try and have some fun, get some
Mhm.
items, and yeah, go for it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I did like the divergence when you went up to the wreck ship because obviously that was your main chance was if Suit could have been there, and then Zos makes some sort of mistake going down without it potentially, and then you found the pressure valve, which unfortunately didn't really help you at all because
No, but I think it took me maybe 5 minutes to get the thing.
yeah,
I was really struggling on that. I don't know what was going on today.
that item is not free.
No.
Don't feel too bad about that, but. The real issue was you then go into Meridia, but the item the actual Suit location is unfortunately not within the pressure valve section
No,
of Meridia.
well, that's where I was on my way to the sand pits and took the death to the crab, which was just
Yeah.
that was painful.
Yeah,
Very
it's very
painful.
easy to forget when you're moving through Meridia like that
Yeah.
the enemies still do all that damage.
Yeah,
That
they
with the power suit. We saw Kip, who is the mastermind behind Dash, fall to that in a race earlier this season. So.
Oh no, yeah. What can I say? It was good fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
It's the main thing.
All right, so I believe let me get the schedule up and see when I know that the last race is on the schedule. It was Derp and Sunwoo Farmer. Yep, and that's gonna be that's today. That's today at 8:00. So what messages do you have for your teammates?
Good luck.
Yeah,
No pressure. Just
I'm
get in there.
looking forward to the match.
Yeah. That's going to be the first gravity suit matchup of the playoffs, which is going to be very similar to week 7, except we'll have countdown and no co-op. So the full area, full item rando with countdown and boss shuffle. So that should be a fun one tonight.
What I'll say is good luck to both teams. I hope it's a good race.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it as well. But yeah, anything else either one of you wants to add before we close this out?
I just want to. Oh, go ahead, so sorry.
My bad. Just the standard stuff. GG, thanks for the commentary and the tracking and everything. GG Fester.
Ditto, GG's host, and thank you again for everyone and with their efforts putting this together. Very much appreciated. And can I just give a big shout out to Not Now Gwen and Sunwoo, my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve it. They played really well.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Leno, pleasure as always. Thank you for
Tracy.
doing the early morning commentary with me. Paragon on the tracking. Trackers always are MVPs. Huge shout outs to her. And of course, shout outs to our runners, Fester and Zost. Please do follow them if you would. But yeah, there are 3 more races on the schedule today. We
got about 4 more hours until the next one coming up. We got games 1 and 2 of Chicago Bullies and Tales of the Dreaded Metroid. We have Eddie and Travatox in game 1, and Simo and Skipsy in game 2. Those are both going to be very exciting matches to watch.
Yeah, the first race is power, so we get the Chozo, and then our first gravity suit matchup is Simo and Skipsy at 540. They're gonna steal the thunder from Derp and Sunwoo Farmer. So yeah, we're gonna get some all three modes gonna get played today, so that's really exciting. And then of course the aforementioned Southern Route versus Nations 3, Derp versus Sunwoo Farmer at 8 o'clock. And a whole lot more coming up this weekend as we go through round 1 of the playoffs. Lots of good matchups coming up.
Yep, absolutely. But that's actually going to do it for us for now. This has been game 2 between Fester and Zost. GG's to both of you. You put on one heck of a good show for you today. And again, thank you for doing comms. I almost forgot about it this morning. Thank you, Paragon, for doing tracking. And without further ado, we will see you all next mission.